Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. What a busy weekend for videos. It's month end, which means typically YieldMax estimate time, along with many other things, including account updates, weekend reviews, as far as the Friday closeouts, of course, Defiance, and maybe a lot more. So anyway, let's get to it. So this video is for me to give my best guesstimate of what I think they're going to pay. YieldMax is going to announce next week when they declare, their distributions, which I didn't even know. Actually, no, I should have the date over here. Let's see. Declaration date. No, I don't. Okay, sorry. But it is next week. Declaration date is next week. And so let's get to it. Let's get to the estimates. So I'm going to pull up a couple things on here. Let's try to get a lot in the screen. We don't need the recovery rate, but we want the gains per share because that would help. Gains per share. There you go. Perfect. All right. So let's start with TSLY. All right. TSLY, I have a September estimate, column AR, of 58 cents, okay? 58 cents. So when I go to, obviously I cover TSLY, so when I go to the payment detail, I look, and based on my estimator, based on obviously taxable income alone, it would come to 3 cents. So that, the use of that is out the window. I can completely ignore that. So now I have to look at this. The IV, which I'm using as the yield here, would produce 52 cents. Okay, so that's a number I could use. And then I look at last month, they paid 96 cents. So I have 52 cents as compared to last month's 96 cents. So I can use those two numbers into consideration. And then I can also look at the gains per share for the month. If you look to the right, TSLY actually went up since, this is since last ex-dividend date. It went up $1.29. So that's why I decided to not use, I went up a little from the IV estimate, and I decided to use a 58 cent estimate, which is a 50% yield. You can see their IV is 45% just to the right of it in column, AW. So again, kind of a letdown from the prior month of 96 cents, but I think it's more within reason. Looking at OARC, again, I don't cover OARC, so I'm just looking at last month. They paid 26 cents. Their IV is 33%. And they actually made gains of 98 cents per share. So I'm going to give them a 33 cent distribution estimate, which is a 38% yield. Maybe a little generous because it's a bit much. It could put them under $10, but I think they had a good month. Aptly, a lot of these funds, by the way, had a really good month. So Aptly, they paid 34 cents last month. I'm going to predict 38 cents, which is a 25% yield. I think I should probably zoom in because it shows it a little better. So, and then I'll go to the right. So yeah, Aptly, I predicted 38 cents. So that's a 25% yield. Their IV is 22%. So let's move on to NVDY. NVDY, I am predicting $1.10. They paid $1.25 last month. All right, so why am I predicting $1.10? So if we go to NVDY payment tab, last month they paid $1.25. This month I can't use the taxable income. That's negative. So if I look at the IV, that's 96 cents. So I'm predicting an amount above that. Which, why am I doing that? So if I scroll to the right, I can see the fund gains per share, from last ex-dividend date, it jumped a lot, $3.74. So again, there's a lot of synthetic unrealized income there too. So that's why our taxable income reflects negative. The timing of everything, didn't necessarily work out. But overall, because for that reason, I'm going to say they're still going to be over $1, pay $1.10, which would yield you 51%, which again, that's low for NVDY typically. And that's an implied volatility of 45%. So you never know, it could be higher. All right, let's move on to AMZY. AMZY, they paid 47 cents last month. I'm going to predict 58 cents, which is a little higher. Their IV is 24%, which is disgustingly low. I mean, what the hell? So this would yield them 35%. Why did I go a little higher? Again, gains per share, I'm showing it went up $1.30. So I don't track AMZY, so I have no idea how they did. Did they make money on the synthetic? So that's why, okay, maybe it'll be 58 cents, which is an increase from the prior month. Moving on to Phoebe. Phoebe paid 79 cents last month, which is higher than I expected. However, I'm going to go low. I'm going to think they're going to pay 65 cents. That yields them 40%, which is way more than their 26% IV. But again, if we go, hold on. If we go here, gains per share, $1.15. Really good month for Phoebe. So hopefully they did make some good income. GUI paid 49 cents last month. So, I mean, I never know a GUI. Sometimes they're super low, but I'm predicting 42 cents. That's a 31% yield. Their IV is 22%. Again, really low. But they did have gains per share of 69 cents. So that's why, it's a decrease from last month. But again, I'm predicting a yield above the IV, which, should I do that? You never know. Who knows with these? All right, let's move on to Nestle. Nestle paid 57 cents last month. Nestle, they used to pay really good, and then they came down, and then went a little up last month. But I'm predicting 52 cents, which is a 36% yield. Their IV also super low, 24%. However, gains per share, $1.54. So let's get some of those gains per share through distribution here. CONY, I'm predicting 92 cents. They paid $1 last month. I can go to my sheet to show you why I think that. All right, so again, my estimate based on taxable income is 93 cents. The estimate based on just IV is 80 cents. Again, they paid $1 last month. So that's why, again, I came pretty close to the taxable amount per share I'm showing is 93. So I'm going to bring it down a little to 92 cents, which is a 73% yield, 10% higher than the IV of 63%. They had gains per share of $1.02. Why do I think it's 92, which is kind of low? Well, look at where the price is too. It's at 15 bucks. I don't know. I just don't think they're going to pay $1 anymore, at least this month. Disso, 39 cents last month. I think they're going to pay 31 cents. That's a decrease. But it's a yield close to their IV, and they did have 53 cent gains per share. MSFO paid 40 cents last month. I'm going to give them the same exact amount for the most part, which is a yield of 23%, which is above their IV. They had gains of 88 cents per share. All right, moving on to Zomo, paid 34 cents last month. I'll give them 31 cents, which is still generous for them. That's a 21% yield. Their IV is 18%, and they had gains per share of 53 cents. JPMO, they paid 37 cents last month. I'm going to give them a slight decrease down to 35 cents. This would produce them a 21% yield, a little more than the IV of 17%. Their gains per share from ex-dividend date last month is $1.37. As you can see, gains per share really good for typically most of these funds, except the short funds. AMDY paid 43 cents last month. I'm going to give them a little addition. I'm going to think they're going to pay 55 cents, which it's a 27% increase. That would put their yield at 45%, which is 4% above their IV. They had gains per share of $1.84, which is really good. PP had paid 35 cents last month. They had a really good month, so I'm going to give them 48 cents. That would put them at a 30% yield, 4% above their IV. Check out the gains per share, $1.94. That's really good stuff. So PP owners are probably happy. SQUE, they paid 63 cents last month. I'm going to give them a raise of up to 68 cents. That would put them at a 42% yield, 3% above their IV. Their gains per share, $2.36. So keeping that in mind, I could be super lowball on this, right? Because I only said 68 cents. So they could actually pay $1, right? you know what? I'm looking at that. I mean, $2.36. That's a big gain. That's a big gain. You know what? I got to do it. I got to give them more. As you know, sometimes I do adjust the numbers based on, because sometimes I fill these in and I rush some. But let's see what 95 cents looks like to this. 95 cents would bring in a 59% yield. You know what? Should there be $1? And let's see, $1. Nah, I think 95 is already pretty generous, to be honest. Yeah, let's leave it. Again, they have almost 40% IV, 236 gains. That's pretty good gains. So I got to give them 95 cents. All right, Murney paid 46 cents last month. I'm going to give them around the same, 45 cents. That's a 51% yield. That's less than our IV by 2%. But that's only because gains per share were actually in the negative. So I kept that into consideration. Sorry, it's scrolling over the place. AIYY paid a crappy 35 cents last month. So I'm going to give them another crappy 30 cents. Oh, wait. Look at their IV. 77%. That only yields 36%. Their gains per share is 32. Yeah, I can't. I got to raise this one too. I got to give them another 35 cents. I know it's not going to yield them nearly as much as their IV, but still, that's a 43% yield. Man, that's low. There's no way. Why did they pay so low last month? I don't know. I got to give them more. At least 45. All right, 45 comes to a 55% yield. Probably still lowballing, but let's go with that number for now. MSTY, okay, MSTY, our favorite. They paid $1.94 last month, so people were upset about that. I'm predicting $1.55 this month. So let's go to the spreadsheet and see why. So again, $1.94 last month. My ROD estimator calculates 93 cents based on taxable income alone. The IV alone predicts $1.41. Okay, so I'm above both of those. How much did they go up per share? $1.55. So why do I think they're going to pay all of it, right? All of those gains? I only think so because where the price stands, it's still at $23, and who it is, it's MSTY, right? MSTY, it owns this space. Like the massive payments, it's what they do, right? Look at this. They started off $4, $2.50, $3, $2.33. They went down to $1.94. I don't think they're gonna really. They wouldn't jump down to the 90-cent range. There's no way. They're gonna keep it above $1 for sure, and I think they're gonna keep it at $1.55. Which, by the way, $1.55 is an 80% yield. Their IV is 72%. So again, this is just my guesstimate. Who the hell knows what they're gonna pay? YBIT, they paid 67 cents last month. I'll give them 61 cents. This would yield them 53%, which is 2% below their IV. They had gains per share of 57 cents. All right, let's continue. Crash. You know what? Real quick, I need to get the declaration date so I know. Where is YieldMax? What's 8? No, 9/5. Yeah. Declaration date is 9/5. I think Monday, what's today? Today is 31st. So Tuesday's the 3rd, 4th, 5th. So was it Thursday? No. Where are we at? Yeah, I guess it's Thursday, X date the Friday, and then pay date the Monday. Okay, so we got time. They still have a lot of days in there to make some more money. You know, not likely, but you'll see. All right, sorry about that. I just had to know. So keep that in mind when we're going through these. All right, so we're on Crash. Obviously, this is the short fund of TSLY. They paid 84 cents last month. I don't think they're going to pay as high. I think they're going to pay 68 cents. That's a 52% yield, which is still above their IV. However, they lost 75 cents per share. Why did I give them 52%? To be honest, I don't know. I just looked at the last few payments and they were so high that I just went with it. I just gave them still decently high in my opinion. GDXY, they paid 57 cents last month. I'm going to give them a decrease down to 51 cents. That would put them at a 32% yield, which is, comparable to their IV, only off by 4%. They made $1.27 per share though this month, which is really good. So I could be lowballing there. SNOY, really crappy fund so far. They paid 78 cents last month. I'm going to estimate a decrease of 25% all the way down to 58 cents. That's still a 40% yield, which is above their IV of 37%. Gains per share only had 53 cents. I can't believe I just looked. They're at 17 bucks already. And then the next one, ABNY, is at 16 bucks. Like, what the hell? What are these guys doing? ABNY, they paid 79 cents last month. I'm going to predict 42 cents, which is a huge letdown. ABNY probably had more than a month included in last month, which is why they paid higher. This is a 31% yield, which is 3% above their IV. However, gains per share, they actually had $1.03 in gains per share. So, they're lucky they had that. Fiat, obviously this is the crypto short, whatever. They paid a massive $1.89 last month. I'm going to give them $1.05 because that's a 59% yield. Their IV is 63%. And they actually did gain 85 cents. So these short ones are really hard to predict. Dips, which is the, chips. This is the NVDY one. I don't know why I have to look, but so we have the shorts here. Where's the shorts? So we have Crash, Tesla, Fiat, Coinbase, Dips, NVIDIA. And then this is their first distribution, or at least, let me just show you the launch date too while I'm over here. Let me go back. So they launched July 23rd. So yeah, they'll definitely have a distribution. BABO launched on August 7th. So if their declaration date is the 6th, I think we said, that's about a full month. So they should have a distribution. These other two, YQQQ and TSMY, they most likely will not have a distribution. So I'm not doing a prediction for them. Just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, so September estimate for dips, I'll give them 85 cents. That's a 51% yield. That's 6% above the IV. Gains per share, terrible. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. Down 272, good Lord. But they did have a little over a month since they launched, which is why I'm giving them a slightly higher yield than their IV. I should give them less, to be honest. BABO, here we go, 75 cents. That's a 43% yield, 12% above their IV. Why is it 12% above their IV? I'm too generous on BABO. Sorry, BABO. I feel like Seinfeld. Babu. But this is BABO. All right, what do we got? 38%. They have exactly 1 month too, so kind of being generous there. I'm going to give them 61. I think that sounds better. 61 cents. What do you guys think? Come on, BABO. That's still high compared to that. All right, it's the first month. Sometimes the first month gives them a little more. But yeah, that'll yield 35%. As mentioned, YQQQ and TSMY launched too late to have a distribution this month. And then, of course, ULTI, YieldMax, and YMAG, it's way too early for them. But as far as their recovery rates, if you're interested, they are currently at, ULTI's at 30%, YieldMax is at 13%, and YMAG is at 39%. All the others at the top, for the most part, recovered, except Fiat, SNOY, Crash, YBIT, MSTY had originally done. Oh, well, most at the top, from top to bottom, they were on a roll. Then I guess the bottom bunch kind of screwed up here. But, for the most part, it's the shorts and Murney who failed to recover 100% of the prior month's distribution. All right, guys. So anyway, that is the estimate video. I know people, they await this estimate video, so I do my best to predict what I'm going to pay, and then I have a guesstimate for the accuracy, which compares, obviously the September estimate to the September actual. So I will get that video out sometime this week. If there's anything else you want me to cover, I could actually just take a look real quick. Is anyone going to be at house money? Actually, CONY will be. Where's CONY? CONY's at 99%. So after this payment, they'll be at 100% house money, which means basically since day one, they paid back 100% of the original value of the ETF. NVDY already paid out 100%. TSLY's getting there. They're at 62%. Next is MSTY. They're at 65%. Outside of that, ALTY's at 30%. But who else? AMDY's at 49%. SQY's at 47%. So some of these funds are getting there. OARC's at 48%, but they launched when TSLY launched, so they're really slacking. So, but again, when you get to 100% house money, it's a really good thing. All right, guys, that's my estimate video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, I'll try again next month. If there's anything I should add to the estimate video for next month, please let me know. If you think I'm wrong or right on some of these, either way, just let me know in the comments down below. Again, this is just an estimate, or shall I say guesstimate. You know, just wait. If you're going to make any moves, wait until they do the declaration, which again, I believe is on the Thursday, because you have that entire day to, to decide, to buy in. If you want to buy into the fund and get the distribution, you can buy on the declaration date. Don't use these numbers for buying purposes, please. This video, is for fun and entertainment. I say it all the time. And obviously it's not financial advice. But again, I just do my best. I have fun with it. We just make guesstimates. Everyone should do these videos because it is fun. But hopefully some of them are right. They should be right. Like the 4 I cover, I like to think I have an idea. And sometimes, I'm wrong on those too. The others I don't cover. So I only have minimal information to use. So I'm doing my best there. But hopefully I come close, because that's the whole point of this video too. You want to come close. You don't want to just be way off. But there's always a few. I'm always way off. It's typically like AMZY or AMZY or, SQY. Forget that. I can't get that one ever. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. And like I said, any questions, concerns, or just comments in general, leave them down below. All right, guys, have a good one. I will talk to you later.